Want to focus in on the German chancellor and what Angela Merkel's role in this is. Critics cited in this morning's Wall Street Journal that Merkel is building a fourth Reich dominated by German capitalism. Yes, Germany's economy has been helped greatly by the euro, but others who are watching say that if she does decide to help Greece, she would be setting a standard that could be used by other countries in need, like Spain and Portugal, to blackmail the EU for more money. Joining me now on the Fox Business Wire is a Fox Business exclusive, former Greek finance minister Gikas Hardouvelis. Sir, good to have you on the program. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria.
First, give me your...
Please.
Give me your observations of what has taken place so far in Greece.
Well, as you all know, there was a referendum that surprised everybody by the overwhelming no. It was a referendum whose question was ambivalent, and I think the population translated to mean, do you support the young fellow who's the prime minister or you don't? And they more or less said, yes, we support him. And that's how I understand it.
So that's your read on why they voted no. You think they're supporting Cyprus. Do you think they understand what staying in the euro would mean, or not staying in the euro would mean for their own fortunes, the people?
No, I don't think. I mean, they have a suspicion because capital controls are with us the last 10 days. They kind of suspect, but they don't believe it. They don't understand that things can get a lot worse for their lives. And they vote based on their anger. And remember, Greece has been in a depression for 6 years, and people are very angry. And the people that voted yes are very irrational. They are themselves angry too, but they just said yes because they understand what is at stake. If the question were, do you want to stay with the euro area or do you want to leave the euro area, it would have been a sounding yes. I mean, the polls show that 80% of the Greeks want to stay in the euro area. Simply, this referendum was not about the euro area. The prime minister made sure he kept saying this is not about the euro area. It's just that voting no increases the probability of exit. This people did not understand.
So do you think there should be another question being asked? I mean, this is a really big question not to understand and a really big issue. And at this point, it feels like the cards are, in fact, in creditors' hands. They can just turn around and say, look, you voted no.
No, I think the referendum, if you look at it in its details, it was unconstitutional even from a Greek perspective, because you never put to a referendum and to vote fiscal measures. You know people are going to say no. You ask them, did you like me to raise your taxes? Of course they will say no.
Right.
So
yeah,
this
sure.
is unconstitutional. And everybody knows it. And everybody knows that this was a theater that was being played. It did show, however, that the prime minister domestically is very strong. As a result, the head of the opposition resigned. He was my prime minister when I was finance minister. He had to resign. So we're looking at a prime minister who is very powerful domestically, but very weak in Europe. He has to quickly come up with a deal to save the country. He promised that to the Greek people. So the only thing Europeans need to do is actually give them some nice wording about a future debt relief subject to conditionalities. I think this can easily be done. It's a win-win for Europe. Greece can be pushed to reform the country and at the same time have a carrot in front of her, which is perhaps an extension of the maturities of the debt, or transforming the floating rate debt into fixed rate can be done.
All right, so you do think then that it's possible to get a new terms, basically, to alleviate the debt. Minister Gikas, yeah, go ahead.
I think you know, for today, it's impossible to do all these things in one day. What I think they ought to speak is of an interim financing until they close a final deal, perhaps in September, because Greece needs about $12 billion till the end of September. At the minimum, they need the money to be paid to the IMF,
right,
and the money to be paid to the ECB. That's about $9 billion. The money exists. It's the S&P profits.
Yeah.
It's the Hellenic Financial Stability Fund money that's being kept aside someplace. The Europeans do not have to dig into their pockets to find the money. They can easily give it. This PM needs, however, is some statement that they're willing to listen to a restructuring of the debt. Restructuring does not mean that the European lenders will impose a further burden on their citizens.
Right, it's just a restructuring.
It just means an extension of the loan. It means not having ironing out any blips on future revenue, future payments of the Greek government.
Yeah.
And in my view, it's a lot more important to fix the interest rate. It's time to take advantage of the global low rates, and the ESM can go into the market, borrow, say, for 50 years, and turn around and lend to the Greek government at a fixed rate.
They certainly have that opportunity with rates where they are. Minister Hardouvelis, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Gikas Hardouvelis there on the telephone, and with Maria